Okay, so this is about the raid Renown. Okay.
Hello there and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to talk about Renown, and more specifically we're going to talk about the brand new Renown linked to the Liberation of Undermine raid in patch 11.1.
That's a cute icon.
Yeah.
One of the things I love the most about my goblin is her sharp pointy teeth. She's I love that about her. I think it's very charming.
A reputation specifically linked to a raid. I think this is a first for World of Warcraft. But before we do jump into all of the details on that, I do want to shout out my Patreon. I've just started posting over there regularly, so if you do want to support the channel that way, I will leave a link down below. And shout out to all my patrons who are currently subscribed. Right, so yes, Liberation of Undermine is coming in patch 11.1. This is an 8-boss goblin themed raid with some absolutely insane looking mechanics.
That is a cool boss. The ogre in the tux, that is super cool.
Looking mechanics and bosses, and just a crazy time. Raid testing has just begun. I haven't had a chance to do it yet, but no doubt I will. But one thing that is super unique about this raid is that it actually has a reputation tied to it. From the looks of things, this is literally just tied to the raid and nothing else outside of it, which is super interesting. And the rewards from this Renown actually do link perfectly into the raid and kind of serve as a soft nerf of the raid over time. So
what? Okay, so you progress the Renown by doing the raid, and this is what's going to make you stronger over time as compared to, like, Nerubar Finery that we had with Nerubar Palace.
So let's jump into it. So the reputation is called the Galagio Loyalty Rewards Club. Now, we currently do not know how the reputation is gained, if it's from trash, bosses, if it's weekly, whatever. It is warbound, so this is going to be something that is account-wide. So if you're, 5 Renown on one character, that is going to be across your entire warband, which is great when you see some of the rewards here. So this is a 20-level Renown, so let's take a look at some of the rewards. So on level 1, you just have, obviously, unlocking the reputation, and the professionals. So it says profession tables, vendors, and crafting order specialists are now available on the top floor of the Intercontinental Hotel.
It doesn't say Intercontinental. It says Incontinental. You might want to check that again, because you might have an unpleasant surprise when you check in to the Incontinental Hotel.
Yeah. So that is the kind of building in the middle of Undermine, kind of your main hub when you're in the zone. It's also the first part of the raid, as far as I'm aware. At Renown 2, we have Step Right Up. So it says allows for use of the busted rune dispenser inside the Intercontinental, giving you a chance each week at obtaining a crystallized augment rune. So that's pretty cool. So you have a chance of getting that from the busted machine.
It buffs
you also
you.
have Can We Get That Too? It says consume food 100% faster.
It says, can we get that to go? Man.
Faster while inside the Liberation of
You're moving so fast, you're not reading it.
At Renown 3, we have the professionals too. So this says earn the respect of Lath Faster and Grit Alpha Drill inside the Intercontinental, giving you access to transmog and item upgrades inside the hotel. So that's really cool. I like
need to see the transmog in question.
That a lot. At Renown 4, we have Token of Appreciation. So it says speak to Paula Piranha inside the Intercontinental to be issued a Galagio rewards card, returning you to the Intercontinental when used.
Matt, he has not realized yet that it does not say Intercontinental.
Inside the Liberation of Undermine, so that will bring you straight back, which is nice. And Loyal Customer 1. So it says while inside the Liberation of Undermine, your warband damage and healing is increased by 3%. So yeah, a nice damage and healing buff at Renown 4. At Renown 5, we have Fixer Upper. It says gain clearance to use various Fixer Upper stations within the raid, allowing you to repair your items and remove the sated debuffs. That's kind of huge, being able to remove the sated debuffs. In theory, you could...
Oh, so you don't have to, like, have the hunter pull the boss and feign death, so you can just, like, pull normally?
Potentially lust every pull? Possibly. Even on trash and things like that. So we'll have to see what happens with that and how that works. But that's at Renown 5, so pretty early on.
I like that.
At Renown 6, we have Time is Money. So this is to gain a 10% movement speed while inside the raid, which is awesome.
I wonder if you're going to be able to use the I wonder if there's gonna be a boss that involves using the car. You know, I doubt it. I doubt it.
Of course, but yeah, certainly a nice buff for sure. And we have Wake Up Merc. So it says use the cartel jumper cables to dust yourself off outside of combat, resurrecting with 10% HP. You've got a city to burn.
How do I resurrect myself if I'm dead? Or do you mean just resurrect someone else? It says to dust yourself off. Okay, I guess it's like a reincarnation for outside of combat. Yeah.
So this is a self-res, as far as I'm aware.
Self-res.
Don't know what the cooldown is, don't know how this is going to work, but yeah, very, very interesting for sure. Being able to res with 10% health out of combat, of course, so it's not a battle res or anything like that. But
is this just for people who click release too fast, like me, every time? Where I always find myself at the front, and everyone's like, crap, we could have resurrected you with everyone else if you just didn't click release immediately, because I can't. I see button, I click button.
Only going to speed up those pulls while inside the raid.
Maybe.
At Renown 7, we have Loyal Customer 2, so it says upgrade your Galagio rewards card to gold, increasing your warband's damage and healing by 6% while in the Liberation of Undermine. So that's really good. Nice little...
I think that some of these changes, like resurrect yourself outside of combat, the thing with repair your gear at different stations throughout the raid and get rid of the sated debuff throughout the raid. I think those are different ways that they're looking to reduce the amount of time between pulls after getting a lot of feedback from people who'd play Final Fantasy XIV who really like, you know, being immediately back at the boss. I think that they don't want to go that far because their raid design is so different, where their raid design is really more like storming a castle, like you're moving through different sections, but they also don't want this to be like a huge pain point. So that makes
raid.
sense.
At Renown 7, we have Loyal Customer 2, so it says upgrade your Galagio...
Yeah, like my interview that I did. Yes.
rewards card to gold, increasing your warband's damage and healing by 6% while in the Liberation of Undermine. So that's really good. Nice little damage buff once again. You have Renown 8, so it says, after defeating Vexy and Gear Grinders, Lentil Sprocket will chauffeur you to the VIP entrance for the easy entry to the Galagio's back rooms.
That's
so
cute.
That's a lot of weird words, but essentially that is a raid skip. Yeah, the raid skip looks like it is going to be tied to this Renown, interestingly enough, at Renown 8.
Okay.
At Renown 9, we have the Professionals 2, so it says Snicks and Long...
I like the idea of the raid skip being tied to the Renown and not like a random quest where you need to pick up shit. Like, I think this is better.
Pocket and Skitto Screwjack will now sell their Torque and Florendo merch to you outside the Cauldron of Carnage. So I did look into this. Torque and Florendo are the two bosses, the dinosaur and the gorilla, so I'm not too sure what the merch is. Maybe it's...
Oh, I bet it's mounts. Bet.
Some cosmetics or something like that, but I couldn't see anything.
Oh my god, I want the robot T-Rex mount!
There was some battle pets and things like that, so it could be that, but I don't think it is specifically any gear, but that is...
Okay, what if it's a full overhaul of the appearance of your fast car, but it changes it to look like a T-Rex that's a robot. So, you'll be super fast. Or, it stays a car, but it has a T-Rex head on the front. Or it's like an alteration for the car that you glue on there that lets you jump around like the robot gorilla, like Winston.
At Renown 9. At Renown 10, we have Loyal...
Okay, that's not a good idea. That's not a good idea.
Customer 3, so this upgrades your Galagio reward card to Platinum, increasing your damage and healing inside the raid by 9%, which is awesome, so a really big buff there. At Renown 11, we have Time is Money 2, so it increases your speed out of combat by 20% while inside the raid.
Good.
And Chip Service 1, it says receive a counterfeit dealer's chip. which you can trade for a cosmetic appearance of your choice from Sando the Rat inside the Intercontinental. So, yeah, it looks like you are going
Get yourself something nice. Treat yourself.
to be able to choose a
I really like how much attitude and personality even the tooltips have here. I think
cosmetic
it's
item
really nice.
from the raid, which is awesome at Renown 11. It does say it's a warband reward, so I would
They're
imagine
cute.
it is going to be a one-timer there.
You can already, just by reading the tooltips, see the vibe they're going for with the raid. And I like that they seem to have a really clear vision of what's like how this is going to feel immersive to you.
Round 12, you have the Professionals Force. So it says, speak to Mickey Junk Feast at the Intercontinental to purchase his special hot sauce, increasing the effectiveness of your consumable buffs while inside the raids. So that's a great little buff there. That's pretty cool. At Renown 13, we have Loyal Customer 4. So it increases your Galagio reward card to black, increasing your warband's damage and healing by 12% while inside the raid. So this buff is getting pretty big at Renown 13.
Of course.
At Renown 14, we have Step Right Up 2, so it says the busted rune dispenser has now been repaired, and now will always give you at least one crystallized augment rune, with a chance of up to 3 for repeated uses. And it says that Galagio is not responsible for any damage caused during this process, so yeah, at least one every week to get a augment rune, which is nice. Renown 50.
It's a gotcha rune.
We have chip service 2, so it says receive another counterfeit dealer's chip to trade for a cosmetic appearance of your choice. So yeah, once again, another choice of cosmetic from the raid. And cashing out, so it says the one-armed bandit now has a chance to drop counterfeit dealer's chips when defeated. So the counterfeit dealer's chips, as mentioned a second ago, are just for trading cosmetics, and the one-armed bandit is one of the bosses inside the raid. So one of the bosses inside the raid will have a chance to drop an item which can be traded for cosmetics from the raid, which is awesome. So yeah, really nice buff for collectors there. At Renown 16, we have Loyal Customer 5. So it says upgrade your rewards card to Diamond, increasing your warband damage by 15% while inside the raid. At Renown 17, we have Priceless Payout 1. So it says receive a Puzzling Cartel chip, allowing you to...
How much did the Nerubar Palace Finery end up buffing you by the end? Like, what's the maximum you can get from that?
To trade for a powerful liberation of Undermine item of your choice from Ando the Gat inside the Continental.
Ando the Gat! More like it. I don't know why I said that. Sorry.
So yes, this is going to be a guaranteed piece from the raid at Renown 17. We're not sure what item level or anything like that it's going to be, but yeah, you are going to get a guaranteed item at Renown 17. At Renown 18, you have the Professionals 5, so it says earn the respect of Scrambleton Spoonfork, allowing you to access the auction house while inside the Intercontinental, so that's a really nice option. Okay. Obviously, now everyone kind of has the mount, so it's not that great, but it probably was quite good before.
Not everyone has the mount.
Right.
I have.
Time is Money 3 also increases your speed by 30% while outside of combat inside the Liberation of Undermine. So you're going to be super speedy running around the raid. At Renown 19, we have Loyal Customer 6, increasing your rewards card to Legendary, increasing your damage and healing by 18% while in the raid. And we have Priceless Payout 2. It says receive a final Puzzling Cartel chip to trade for a powerful Liberation of Undermine item of your choice. So yeah, similar to the other one, we are going to get 2 items from this Renown track, which is nice. And finally, at Renown 20, we have Running the Table. So it says your legendary run at the Galagio has earned you the title High Roller. So yeah.
That's a great title.
You're going to get the title High Roller for completing the reputation. You have our door.
Look, as a goblin, you need that title. It's non-negotiable. You need the High Roller title.
Are open, so it says gain the ability to teleport to the Liberation of Undermine whenever you want. And it says because when you're here, your family, a family that spends money. So yeah, a teleport to the raid, a warband teleport to the raid at Renown 20. And finally, at Renown 20, the Furious Florendo. So speak to Vinny Sweets at the Cauldron of Carnage inside the Liberation of Undermine to collect Florendo's keys to use as a mount. So this is... yeah, the dinosaur.
Oh, that's what I thought. But okay, it makes way more sense that it would be at the very end of the track. And it's not something you would get like midway through. This is the one that everybody wanted as soon as they seen this boss. So it makes complete sense. It's actually at the end.
Dinosaur mount.
Oh wow, it's got the spinny
mecha dinosaur mount will be available at Renown 20 to your warband. It
like
is a
that.
very, very cool mount. I love the mount special where it kind of glitches out.
It's awesome.
It's a really big mount too, so yeah, very much looking forward to that at Renown
Yeah,
20,
he's
but
like,
we don't
get
know how
stuck.
long that's going to take. That's the only thing here, you know? We have no idea right now. This is super early. This is the first build, so maybe some of these will change also, but it is really great to see, you know, a damage buff coming in, a speed buff coming in, and all that kind of stuff. I like the idea here, but yeah, obviously we'll see the execution, how much reputation we get, how all that system works. If it's really complicated, I'll probably make another video about it, but I would imagine it's just going to be a system of just, you can get reputation once a week from perhaps any difficulty or whatever. We'll have to see how all of that works once the patch...
This raid, I think, is going to be really fun. It's so goofy and it's so chaotic and it's so over the top, and there's a lot of humor in it, and I have high hopes for the fights themselves. I'm really looking forward to see what kind of kooky shit they managed to put in here, and I hope that they have really flexed their creativity on this, but I feel like that they have.
Launches and the raid launch.
I feel really optimistic about
it. Pretty soon, actually, like within the next month and a half, I'd say this is probably coming out. So yeah, guys, let me know down below what you think of the idea of having a reputation linked directly to the raid. Is this a good thing? Is this a bad thing? Yeah, let me know what your thoughts are on this. This, I believe, is the first time we've seen something like this, so super, super interesting. But guys, if you did like this video, do leave a like on it and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you want to support me outside of YouTube, I am on Patreon, as mentioned, and I am on Twitter, MrGMYT.
Right.
And I have a partner Discord channel as well. And I am also streaming on twitch.tv/MrGM. If you want to see me stream World of Warcraft, War Within, patch 11.1 PTR, all that good stuff, over on twitch.tv/MrGM.
Okay. Wow.
With that, guys, I'll see you next time.
He's always got to say it like that. Okay, let me give you the link to that video. It seems like a great system. It seems like it just streamlines all of the buffs that you're going to be getting over the course of the raid, and it's going to make it really clear and visible to you at all times. As, of course, being warband wide is really better. Though I know Nerebar Palace Finery was also warband. Here you go. Okay. Basically getting another junk pile after Mechagon. Oh, this is better than Mechagon. It's better than a junk pile because this is like full of pizzazz. It's got style and I wouldn't say class. It's not classy, but it's gonna be sassy. Yeah, it's nice to there's an eventual auction house functionality to work like a real capital. Yes. We're finally going to take down Gallywix, and I'm interested to see, like, how will this affect the goblins going forward? Yeah, 11.1 looks stacked. We're going to be doing this raid together as a guild, as I mentioned before. We'll start with normal, and once we get comfy in there, we will be moving into heroic, I imagine. So I do like that over the course of a raid, there's slowly more and more buffs added in to the raid. Because we have a lot of new raiders in our guild, and I'm a new raider for all, like, even though I've played the game for a long time, I'm basically a new raider, and I've had to relearn how to do a lot of stuff because the game as it is now is completely different than the game that was whenever I was raiding in a very serious capacity in years and times gone by. So a lot of things have felt like I have to, like I'm starting from scratch. And I think having the different kinds of buffs you get over the course of a raid, it really helps prevent your group getting burnt out and tired and exhausted and feel like you're beating your head against the wall. Because naturally, no matter what, you will, no matter what, like in a worst case scenario where absolutely nothing is actually improving, you will still make more progress over time. So you will be encouraged by the more progress you make. And so I think it's a nice system. Will the goblins finally unionize? Is the big question that